It is Friday, September 12th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. If you're looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer, go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. What is that, velvet? That jersey looks smooth, man.
Yeah, it's like a velvet corduroy mix right here. I don't know. I woke up this morning, I said, I want to look like a ball player, Chris.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But you're almost 40 with the hat turned on backward. I like that, too. That'll keep you youthful. No.
I like this better.
You do? I kind of dug the other way.
Going to a high school football game tonight. How about that?
Crespi?
Westlake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got some kid transferred out of like Texas that's their quarterback now.
Great.
Everyone's wearing a cowboy hat to the games.
Awesome.
Fun.
Yeah, you know what? High school football is great. When you're at the energy is fantastic. It really is fun. I suggest everybody does that. Although you might want to also watch some baseball because we got some interesting stuff going. Start off with the tip of the cap. We're going to move north of the border to Kevin Gausman, who became the 11th pitcher this season to throw a shutout. Jays took care of the Astros. The right-hander struck out 9, gave up only 2 hits and 1 walk. And he took the 9th to a standing ovation in front of the home crowd and gave this wonderful post-game interview with Hazel May.
That was awesome. I mean, hats off to you guys. That was incredible. Just trying to keep my emotions in check during all that. Honestly, I thought I was going to be throwing 105. That's how amazing I felt out there. Thanks, you guys. I mean, that was awesome. Like, that's all we want as a player.
Let's get past the fact how well he is pitched as of late, because he is the game one starter no matter when they start their postseason. I love the way the whole thing was shot. It was very cinematic. So I want to give credit to the production crew. You got to see the whole crowd. You got to see his face up close. They used one of those cameras that like CBS does during its football coverage. Really good.
Yeah, lighting was great. Everything was coming up Gausman. He looked phenomenal. So he's got to, he should probably be thanking them as well.
Everything's coming up Gausman. I like that. That's very funny.
Hey.
Huh.
Kevin Gausman. Great start. Yordan Alvarez versus Kevin Gausman. Do you know the numbers?
No.
0 for 16, 9 Ks.
Wow. It's the opposite of the Chris Bassett numbers. Remember a few years ago when Yordan and he like joked in between the third base bag and home plate, and Bassett's like, "Will you stop?"
Yes.
It's funny. It's interesting how that works. Good knowledge, Plouffe. Good knowledge. Jays lead the American League East. They're going to host Baltimore this weekend. Meanwhile, New York at Boston to stay in the divisional race and fight it out for wild card supremacy. And look who's coming into Fenway Park hot.
High drive, left center field, Green back, track, wall, see ya! Another home run for Judge. He is tied Joe DiMaggio for 4th place on the Yankees' all-time home run list, and also picks up his 100th Ribby of the Year.
How's that for a homestand? You blow past Yogi for 5th all-time, and now you're tied with Joe DiMaggio.
Unbelievable. His swing last night, couple of really, really nice swings for Judge. Unreal.
I'm just talking about the whole – people are like, well, why do you always talk about the Yankees so much? Folks, listen to the names he just passed and then pulled even with. You're talking about some of the biggest names in the history of the sport. The other franchises can't hold a candle to that in terms of their top 5 home run leaders of all time. So, I mean, it makes you sit here and think, like, you go back and look at some of the numbers that Joe DiMaggio put up and realize that he missed several seasons because of the war. And when you pull, it was Meredith Marakovitz, who does a great job on Yes, was like, what does this mean to you, essentially, in the post-game interview? And he was like, well, we got the win. I'm like, Aaron, just once be like, yeah, it's pretty damn cool. I just pulled even with Joe DiMaggio, who was freaking married to Marilyn Monroe on top of everything else. Like, shit, that's awesome.
Dude, I remember him coming up and them starting the judges' chambers in right field. Right. It was a time when the Yankees weren't the Yankees. They weren't. It was like the young kids. What were they called? Like the baby bombers or something like that. We thought Clint Frazier was going to be the real, like, But they were doing this to Aaron Judge. And I remember saying, what are we doing to this guy? Like, this is not what you want to do. This pressure you want to put on a freaking rookie. And my God, somebody knew something.
Yep.
Like, kudos to the front office because they understood how good he was going to be. Go look at the offensive leaders in the big leagues this year. It's Aaron Judge and then everybody else. No one's even freaking close, dude.
Yeah, for most of those numbers outside of the home runs and the ribs. Yep. And then, of course, they had a visitor pregame. President Trump came through there. Now, there were some Yankee fans who were going nuts because you just saw the president tap Aaron Judge's right elbow twice. Like, everybody's like, hey, nobody told the president, like, he's been sitting out and hasn't been playing the field because of that thing. Let's, hands off the heavy artillery, if you know what I mean.
I'm sure some people said, hey, hands off, and some people were like, hey, can you heal that thing, President Trump? We're very divided in this country. Now, he did guarantee a victory, though, and they got it.
He also said that every game he's ever been invited to, that the Yankees have won.
That sounds like something he would say, for sure. For sure.
It does. We don't have to fact check that one.
Look, regardless of how you feel about Trump,
right?
Okay? This guy is our president, and right. I just think it's like going into a clubhouse and meeting everyone, shaking everyone's hand. It's like, that's pretty cool, man.
I agree. We saw President Obama do it at the All-Star game when he was during his first term, I believe. And yeah, I mean,
wasn't that how first pitches were started? It was presidents would throw out the first pitch of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And do we need to bring that back? Yes, is my answer.
Yeah.
And they would throw it from the crowd, right? They would just take a ball and throw it onto the field.
That was originally how it was done, and then we started to see others take
people
to the mound.
Embarrass themselves on the mound.
Yeah. By the way, so when I was hosting the Fox pregame show, we had the All-Star game at Busch Stadium, the new one in St. Louis, and I had to go there for rehearsal. And so I'm walking through. There's almost nobody in the stadium. It's 9 hours before first pitch. And all of a sudden I see Obama, because he was going to be there. I see Obama's Secret Service around, a faction of it. And there's like 15 of them. And I was like, oh my God, I could disappear right now off the face of the earth and never be heard from again. And nobody would bat an eye at this. Like, I could be just swept up and that would be it. And it was crazy. Like, you were there. I was sitting next to one of the dugouts and you see all of the snipers overhead, all positioned properly. You're like, damn, some crazy stuff going on.
Hey, quick, before we get into your question, Yankees since 2002 on September 11th, which is obviously a big day in New York history, right. Our country's history, but specifically in New York, 15-6.
Interesting. I've seen some people say that the Yankees and Mets should play a day-night doubleheader at both places on September 11th, and
I don't hate that idea, but that's a lot.
It's an interesting thought. All right, so now up next for the Yankees, they got on a plane last night. They headed up to Boston. Big series, right, Skip?
Yeah, I mean, excited to get up to Boston. Obviously, they've had our number this year. They've had their way with us this year, but and we know it's going to be a tough series. We're facing 3 good starters this weekend. Hopefully we can go out there and set a nice tone early, and understanding how important each and every game is.
Had their way is one way of putting it. Boston 8-2 in the 10 games played. Do you think more of the same, or will the Yankees finally shake that off and get pointed in the right direction against their arch rival?
Part of me thinks that things regress to the mean, but then I'm like, you know what? I like the Red Sox, and you mentioned the pitchers. They got Giolito, Bello, and then Crochet on day 3. I think they split the first 2 games, then Crochet does Crochet things. Kind of a tough first start against the Yankees this year, but the last 2 starts have been phenomenal against him, and he is that guy. So I do think the Red Sox end up taking 2 out of 3. The only guy that could change that, if Aaron Judge gets red hot and just becomes that guy, like has the ability to take a series over. But in my head right now, it's 2 out of 3 to Boston. They flip the wild card standings, and then they would be the ones hosting, because right now the Red Sox would have to go play a 3-game set against the Yankees. And I think that eventually we will see that flip, or at least after this weekend.
I agree with you. So Giolito had a bad start against the Yankees. Bayo's had 2 starts and hasn't given up an earned run, I believe, in 14 innings. And Crochet, sub-3 ERA with 27 strikeouts in his 3 starts against the Yankees. Heel goes for the Yankees tonight. He's had one good start. Remember, he missed the first part of the season. Fried, a couple of really good starts with a sub-2 ERA. And Warren, who goes on Sunday, has blown up in his 2 starts against Boston. Overall, Boston's outscored the Yankees this year 56-38. The interesting thing is the home runs, and our buddy Buck Martinez kind of turned us on to this one. The Yanks have out-homered Boston in the series this year 14-12. And what did he say? If they're not homering, they're not a good team, essentially. And at least in this series, head-to-head, that's the way it's gone. And heck, they've even out-homered their opponent, and they still have gotten throttled overall. So this, to me, the playoffs kind of start this weekend in a lot of series that we're going to continue to talk about. You've loved Boston from the onset. I believe you had them representing the American League in the World Series before the season started.
Yes.
I do wonder how much they're going to miss Roman Anthony at the top of the lineup in a series like this.
I mean, yeah, they're obviously going to miss him. I think I'm still hoping that he makes his way back for some part of the postseason. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, they have depth. They had enough depth to withstand it. Are they a better team with him in it? Obviously, but I still do like these Red Sox a ton.
But here's what I like most is that we're in the middle of September. We have a Yankees Red Sox series that we can all agree means something and that we're all interested in. Yeah. Because there have been times in recent years where the Red Sox have not held up their end of the bargain. And it's good. This is great. It's great for the sport, and it's one of several series that you have to watch this weekend, is the way I look at it. Who do you give the edge to? Who do you like more? Comments down below. Who's going to be the big star this weekend, hitting-wise or pitching-wise? Let's go for it. Our comments are wide open, as we like to say. Let's move to the American League West. Seattle has pulled even, and all they have to do when they get home is just beat a losing team in extra innings, because it happened again.
Give me a sack, Harry. What did you ask for? Is it deep enough? Polanco is on his way home. Here it comes. He's safe. Harry Ford. Harry Ford. Welcome to the big leagues. The Mariners are in first place.
Yeah, that's Harry Ford, the former first-round pick, not Harrison Ford from one of my favorite shows, Shrinking, out there. And, of course, Han Solo from back in the day and Indiana Jones and everything else. But Harry Ford, they're getting contributions from the entire roster at this point, and that place is rocking, Trevor.
It is. I mean, the Mariners are they're doing what they need to do, and I think that you're going to ask me a question here, and I have a pretty definitive answer about what this series is going to look like against the Angels. I mean, this is perfect timing for the Angels to come up against the Mariners for the Mariners' sake.
Yeah, the question is what the division looks like, because as you can see by the standings, if you're joining us on YouTube, Astros and Mariners are tied. Rangers are just 2 back. Just so you all know, Seattle continues to host the Angels this weekend. Houston at Atlanta as they continue their road trip, and Texas at the Mets. We'll have more on that series coming up. But what do you think the AL West looks like when we resume our show on Monday?
I think by that time, excuse me, the Mariners will have swept the Angels. They get a sweep of the Cardinals.
A 4-game series?
A 4-game series, I think they sweep. Okay, last night, that was it. The Angels had a chance. Don't get the job done. I don't think they sniff another game. And look, I know Mike Trout goes and rakes in Seattle. He'd been homerless for like 150 at bats. He gets his 399th last night. It was a really funny story. I'm buddies with a guy named Ricardo Zapata. He's a photographer in LA, does a lot of Angel stuff. We'll do the Dodgers sometimes too, I believe. I was talking to him before the game. He goes, I'm tasked to get this shot. He goes, but they won't send me on any more road trips because he hasn't hit homers. So he goes, if he hits one today in today's game, talking about the last game against the Twins, I'll hop on the bird. If not, I'm staying home. I go, and then what happens if he hits one the first game? He goes, then I got to fly up there.
Oh, my God.
I was like, you're going to have to fly to Seattle. He crushes there. He goes, I know, but they won't send me. So, of course, he hits one Ricardo's got to fly up. He'll be up there to try to capture that. But yeah, even with Mike Trout, what he does in Seattle, I watched the Angels play. It is sloppy, uninspired baseball right now. And Seattle playing the exact opposite of that. So I firmly believe that we will see a sweep at the hands of the Angels, and the Mariners will be in first place in that division on Monday.
You don't think the Mariners put the division to bed this weekend, do you?
I do not. I don't think they really can. I think they'll be in the lead. Houston, they go and play the Braves.
They're at Atlanta.
And the Braves aren't playing great ball at all. So I think they'll win that series. Don't know if they sweep it. I think they maybe take 2 out of 3. So it put now the Mariners up 1 game. And as far as the Rangers, they're playing the Mets, 2 teams going in completely opposite directions. You kind of have to expect, DeGrom versus Tong tonight is awesome. You got to expect the Rangers to win that series as well. So I think they keep pace, but the Mariners kind of jump up and take the lead in the division.
Yeah, I want to focus a little bit on the Astros and their downfall. I was on a Cleveland radio station this week, and they asked me, well, do you think that the Guardians can catch Seattle? And I said, I don't think they can. I said, but the team to watch falling back to them might be the Astros. So they've really, really struggled. Only 2 lineups in baseball have a lower OPS over the last month. They are averaging 3.73 runs in their last 38 games. And this is all from Chandler Roma, The Athletic. So, Chandler, thanks for the research. You're one of the best out there covering your respective teams. In those 38 games, they've been shut out 6 times. That included Gausman's gem yesterday. Now, Correa, great since the trade. He's hitting almost 300. Jordan has reached base in 14 of his 15 games since coming off the injured list. Rest of the lineup, not good. Altuve, they moved him down to cleanup. They're trying to get him going a little bit. He didn't talk to the media afterward, which is very rare for him. He's usually a front and center guy, even when things aren't going well. It just feels like things are way off. And that they have, if you look at their injured list, particularly on the pitching side, but also with some of the hitting, right? Paredes, obviously, who had a great first half of the season. He hasn't sniffed it. He's trying to get back, but he's got that really bad hamstring. They've just had guys in and out of the lineup, and they haven't been able to overcome it. They just don't have the depth that they have had, and guys haven't produced. So I think Texas is going to leapfrog them at some point, and they'll stare each other in the face next week, those two. Houston's got a huge homestand where they've got the Rangers and the Mariners coming to town.
It's yet to be seen. I agree. Part of me can't put Houston to bed just yet, but if there is something you can look at, it is the Framber situation. They're 3-6 since that. And when you don't have all the guys, you better have the clubhouse. And if you don't have either of them, that makes it very, very tough to show up and do your job the right way. There are a couple guys that can do it. They can turn that clubhouse around and carry that team. I'm looking at you, Jordan. I'm looking at you, Carlos Correa, but definitely not a great time for the Houston Astros right now.
All right, it is time right now for our Like a Bosch Player of the Week. It is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Just like Bosch Power Tools, this player got the job done through hard work, grit, and determination. We each get a guy. Who are you going with?
I'm going with my guy Jackson Merrill. Last 7 games, 26 at bats. He's got 8 hits. He's hitting .308, but he's got 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs to go along with it. And it's all because, Chris, he's got a new goatee he's flashing.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. I don't love it on him, but,
is that a goatee or is that just the bottom, just the chin?
There's better video out there. This is a recent thing, and he's going like this with the goatee.
He's really young. Sometimes those things don't attach at that age.
I don't love a young guy with a goatee. I told this to Jake when we were kind of making fun of it. That's more of an old guy thing. But no, Jackson, I think he said, I want to do something.
I don't think I've ever seen you with a goatee.
I don't think I've ever rocked one. The closest I've gotten to a goatee, I did the Chris Cornell. I've done 2 things. Chris Cornell, which is the mustache with the little thing right here.
Yeah.
And then I've done just the chin strap. I did that for a while, Chris. Shaved head just right here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was that when you were in your biker gang phase?
Dude, I was 2012, baby.
Oh,
The
okay.
famed Trevor Plouffe season of 2012.
I see you working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had this ever since the pandemic, the beard.
Just a little scruff.
It's more than a little scruff. It's a full
Yeah.
gray beard until I dye it, which will probably happen this weekend. Yeah, I don't know if every time I look at it in the mirror, I'm just like, I think maybe I'll shave it. And then I don't. I just don't know what to do. My player of the week, I don't know what his facial hair status is right now, but it's Josh Bell. 9 for 21, 4 homers. And when Josh Bell gets homer hot, few guys, he hits like Schwarber type homers. They are majestic. They've got an NFL punter's hang time. They are a beautiful thing to watch. Nats, hold on. 7-3 in the month of September. Who knew? Now, this is an organization we just haven't paid any attention to. All we were curious was how many guys they were going to trade at the deadline, and we'll see in 2026 because they need new leadership at both GM and in the dugout, and they feel like a little bit of a lost organization, but it's been a good week. So I'm going to shine the light on Josh Bell.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that he's still there.
I know, right?
Yeah, but no, you're right. When he's a big boy. When he hits him, he hits him.
He's a super nice guy, too.
Yeah.
What a good human being. All right, today's episode sponsored by Bosch. When you pick up a Bosch power tool, it makes you feel empowered and confident and appreciated. No matter what job lies ahead, you're simply going to crush it. As a global leader of power tools, measuring tools, and accessories, Bosch's innovative product solutions are built with quality engineering and precision in mind. The assortment of products ensures that you have the right tools in your toolbox to tackle a variety of tasks with relative ease. Bosch's 18-volt battery platforms powers numerous tools, creating a consistent energy home base that keeps the brand's family of tools running. Like your favorite players on the field, Bosch Power Tools make sure that you are powered up and ready for anything that gets thrown your way, because the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. So head on over to BoschTools.com today to learn more about the power tools you need to get the job done right each and every time. All right. Talked a lot about this, but I think we have to continue. Back on August 27th, the Phillies' lead over the Mets was just 4 games. As they head into the weekend today, it is significantly more than that after the beatdown in the city of non-brotherly love.
He went around. The Phillies come back from 4-0 to complete the 4-game sweep over the Mets.
Yeah, they came back from 4-0 deficit in the first. They now have an 11-game lead. Duran was fantastic last night. He struck out Soto, Alonso, and Vientos to finish it. How shocked are you that this is the way this division has turned out?
I mean, I'm not that shocked. I think everybody knew that the Phillies were a very good team. Mets caught fire. We're getting close to them. You know, a lot of Mets fans were talking about Phillies can't come into our park. They can't do it. And it's true. But here's the thing. There's been only one road team in the season series to win a game. I believe the Phillies are 0-6 at Citi Field, but the Mets were 1-6 at Citizens Bank Park. I believe that's what it is. It could be flip-flopped. So that's interesting. I think the biggest difference was that the Phillies went out and addressed what they needed at the trade deadline and have gotten just incredible results. Not that the Mets didn't do anything, but we're talking about Harrison Bader coming over, not only being a Mets killer, but just really solidifying center field there. Prior to the deadline, Phillies outfielders a 677 OPS, which was 26th in all of baseball. That's not what you'd expect out of a Philadelphia outfield. Since the deadline, though, 825 OPS, that's 6th in baseball. So they addressed that. Duran's been great. They're a team, man, and especially in this series. You know, McClain, great start. The fact that Nola outpitched him, that really set the tone for this series. And I was doing this on Talking Baseball a little bit. For some reason, and I'll do it quick because I know you got some stuff to say. Nola, since coming back from the injury, like ditched his sinker and became like a 2-pitch guy. He was like 4-seam curveball. And then all of a sudden this start, he decided to do it differently. And he had the sinker running back up, kind of where he used to have about 25%. The changeup was also in play. So instead of becoming a 2-pitch pitcher, he threw 4 pitches over 22% in that game. I think that's what he needs to do. And if you're a Phillies fan, you might not have needed Nola because you got some other guys in the rotation to fill in for Wheeler. But if you also have Nola and he finds something just in the nick of time, look out for the Phillies.
Yeah. And Luzardo last night was great. He gave up the 4 runs, and then he set down 22 straight or some ridiculous number like that. Here's how good Duran has been. And there's going to be other teams that are kicking themselves that they did not go out and get him because he was obviously available. We'll see how the Twins do in the return of that package. They feel good about it, but we have to wait and see. 14 2/3 he's pitched for Philadelphia. 20 strikeouts, no walks. I will repeat that. No walks. And that is a huge, huge deal for me. Harrison Bader, last 30 days, over a 1-dotter, hitting almost 400. And he was great in July for the Twins. He had over a 950 OPS. So once again, that's a guy who I thought a lot of other teams would have perhaps been in on. And he's been great. To me, maybe the most interesting thing about this whole process is that Zach Wheeler's been down.
Yep.
That they've been without not just their best pitcher, but a guy who was going to fight it out with Paul Skeens for the Cy Young in the National League. And to do all this without him and now Trey Turner over the last week, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This team, yeah.
Another Twins outfielder that we need to talk about, former Twin outfielder.
Max Kepler.
He's been crushing it over the last 20 games, 307, 5 homers, 16 runs driven in, 921.
You know what that's coincided with? The fact that they've turned Castellanos into a platoon player.
Yep.
I think they've just said, you're a $100 million ball player, but we're going to pick our spots with you. And who knows? Who knows what that'll do to him? We'll see if that, because he has had his moments in the playoffs. He's also had his moments where he's disappeared. And I guess that's what kind of turns you into a platoon player.
Yeah.
For years, everybody's been like, well, we just have to get rid of him. But who's going to eat $20 million a year when you can't guarantee
and
that?
The playoffs are going to come. He doesn't have some big swings. That's just how he rolls.
He will. He's not afraid of the big moment.
No.
But he also can be like a lot of the guys in that lineup and just swing at everything.
Was it this year when everyone was getting on about his defense and he just came out and that was last year in the postseason, right?
Yeah. I think that's when it was.
He made a great catch and to end the game, was it?
I think
up against the wall.
Might be right. Something like that.
I love Castellanos.
As for the Mets side of this thing, they are now just focused on making the playoffs because they turn around and they're like, oh, the Giants are 1.5 back over there. The Reds are 1.5 back over there. Is their manager worried?
Well, I'm not going to say that I'm worried, but it's, we don't have too much time, and it's getting, guys. Teams are right behind us, and it's becoming now, 15 games. The way you look at it is we're still in control of the situation. We're still in control of achieving the ultimate goal.
Okay. Did we just replay the soundbite from
I know.
Over the last 2 weeks? I feel like he keeps saying the same but what else is he supposed to say?
It's also true what he's saying. They are in control. They have a 1.5 game lead still. So if they win their games, they are going to be in the playoffs. It's not factually incorrect.
It's true. So the Mets, as we mentioned, are home against the Rangers, and it's DeGrom and Tong tonight. And then you've got the Reds, who continue their West Coast swing. They're out in Sacramento. I know we're not allowed to say that the Athletics play in Sacramento, but that's where they're playing the game, in case y'all are confused. And then the Giants, a huge home series against their rival Dodgers. So what does the wild card look like when we resume action on Monday?
I got the Mets losing 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I have the Giants. I know you guys have been playing great baseball. I got you losing 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. And I got the Reds winning 2 out of 3, at least. They got their pitching lined up the way they want it lined up. So I guess that would mean San Francisco would stay a 1.5 back. The Reds would only be a half game back, and the Mets would still have that half game lead in the NL wildcard. Now, if they sweep the Reds, I'm talking about against the A's, then that would mean the Reds would be a half game ahead of, or Yeah, a half game ahead of the Mets. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going Mets half game lead over the Reds, 1.5 game lead over the Giants.
Okay. Well, first of all, is it incredible that the Mets' biggest series of the year, and they've got 3 rookies thrown? It's Tong, Sproat, and McClain.
And you feel great about it.
Well, I mean, you feel, I don't know if you feel great about it, but you probably feel the best that you could feel based on the situation you've got. I think that's probably the better explanation. Because you don't know. I mean, Jacob deGrom is going to walk on that field tonight. How do you think that's going to go for the Mets?
Not great.
DeGrom's
been nasty.
He's been incredible. 1.4 ERA, I think, in the last 5 starts. And now his first trip back to City, where he used to have the flowing locks. And I liked that DeGrom, by the way.
Me too.
Right? With the hair and stuff.
He looked like a shortstop still.
And now he's all buttoned up and clean cut and Cy Young's in his hand. I think he's going to come out and shove. I can't wait to watch him tonight. I'm not rooting for it to happen because I actually have a lot of Mets friends, even more so than just Jolly, whom I feel for when he's... Okay, 2 other notes about these series. The Reds, you have to take advantage of this. You have to. The A's are 7-14 at home this year against National League teams. They have dropped 6 of 7 series. The only series they won was against the Atlanta Braves. That's it. So you have to at least win this series. Don't be in this position, then drop 2 or 3. Cannot do that. I won't listen to it. Giants, I have some advice for you. I've been thinking long and hard about this for your series against the Dodgers. Don't let Shohei beat you. Okay? Now, I've done some really tough digging on this. He's got 3 homers in 28 at-bats against him this year. He's got 7 in 74 at-bats since he became a Dodger. So, this is free advice. Okay? I don't give this out to just anybody. Usually I do like a tip line where you got to pay me. Don't let him hit it in the ocean. You're welcome.
Say long and hard again.
What's that?
What?
Keep it clean. With all that being said, I think the Mets still lead by a half game when we resume on Monday. But I want it to mean something over the last 2 weeks. I want it to come down where people are white knuckling and nervous and get.
It's going to, Chris. It's going to.
Watching their games. Oh, this is good stuff. I'm excited. All right, everybody have a wonderful, amazing sporting weekend. The schedule gets a little dicey next week for our show, right? Because we're getting ready for Blitzball Battle 7. I'm traveling on Monday, so Jolly's going to be filling in for me. You and Jolly will be manning the show on Monday. Then Jolly and I will be taking over on Tuesday when you travel up. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We cannot wait. We love it. Let us know in the comments what you're most excited to see this weekend. It could be your team. It could be an individual player. It could be anything about the sport, and let's get to it. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. Yes, we will see you Monday on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.